I'm Gwen.
And I'm Kay.
We hope you enjoy our video.
Today we're going to be making this cute little Be My Valentine Valentine's card. We're going to need a few basic supplies. We're going to need the Distressing Essentials kit, the Be My Valentine stamp from the Occasions mini catalog, but anyway, the tulip embossing folder from the Occasions mini, Stampin' Up dimensionals, your paper clip snips, and then a couple of pieces of glossy white cardstock. So let's get started. I've got a piece of glossy white cardstock and I've cut it at 4 and 5 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to take the tea stain vintage ink spot and I'm going to color this like this. And what I do is I'm going to turn the ink spot upside down. I'm actually going to start out here on the paper and I'm just going to rub it like this. Then to add a little bit of extra distressed look to this, take the edge of the ink spot and just tap this leading edge on the cardstock. And you just keep turning the paper and don't worry about patterns, because if it was really wrinkled, you wouldn't have that. Now I'm going to let this zoom in a little bit and see if you can see that really close. Now I've finished inking, and I've let this actually dry for about 2 minutes so that I don't make a mess of my embossing folder. So now I'm going to take the cardstock and I'm going to take my embossing folder, and what we've done is we've labeled one side as top. Now here's the side that's top. When you run your fingers on this, one side will have ridges and one side has holes. The holes are the top and the ridges are on the bottom. Now this is critical because you want the glossy side to be raised, and so that's where the holes will go. Now I'm going to zoom in so that you can see the alignment of this cardstock in the folder. Now take your cardstock and just align it with this rim, this edge that's right along the card. You can see that kind of move right up there into position, and that's where you want to place your cardstock. And then fold your folder down, and now this is ready to run through the Big Shot. Alright, so we've run this through the Big Shot. Now I hope you can see how this is embossed. Now that we've got this, I'm going to take the mahogany vintage ink spot and I'm just going to lighten the tops of the tulips. You see how those tulips just pop right up there? And it doesn't take a lot. And when you have the card there, you see how that just really makes those tulips just pop right up there and show themselves. Now I've taken a scrap of the glossy white cardstock and I took my stamp, and of course you can see it here, and what I did is that I inked the stamp in early espresso ink. Now when you're doing this, because there's a lot of texture in this stamp, I inked the stamp upside down and patted the ink pad actually onto the stamp, because this is the kind of image that you want. And I've done this in white, and you'll see why in just a minute as we get to the finished product. Now I also took another piece of scrap and I did the same effect with the tea stain. I stained this, and then I took my early espresso and I re-inked my pad, and I just need this Be My Valentine. Okay. So now we're just going to cut the heart out and just go around the heart. Just continue right around, and I'm doing this kind of fast. Normally I'm a little slower. Now you'll notice that I didn't worry about the banner because that'll take care of itself. Alright, now we've got that beautiful little heart all cut. So now we're going to set that aside, and we need to cut the little Be My Valentine banner out. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to cut around the banner. I'm not going to worry about this heart at all, and this is going to take a little bit of time, so I'm going to take a couple of still shots and I'll superimpose them over the video so that you can see the detail of us cutting this Be My Valentine out. Now that I've got the heart and the banner cut out and I've attached dimensionals onto the back, we're ready to assemble the card. Now what I did is I took a piece of Early Espresso cardstock and I've cut it at 5.5 by 8.5 so the card opens up like this. I'm going to take the piece and we're going to put some adhesive on the back. And we're going to layer that right on the card front. And I need to get my heart, and there's our heart. And I'm going to pull the backing off the dimensionals. Now I have fat fingers and I can't see this very well, so I'm going to tip the card sideways and I eyeball it sideways. And there we have that. Then let's take our little banner, pull the backing off the dimensional, and just layer that right smack dab over the top of the banner that we cut off. And now everything pops. Now this is why we colored this in tea stain. You notice that this jumps right up off the top where this is just white. And that's our finished card. I hope you've enjoyed it, and to see more details and to see other examples of using the vintage ink spots, visit our blog. And thank you very much.